up and down the coast, from the beaches to the valleys. At 6, this is KEYT News Channel 3, where the news comes first.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us. I'm Beth Farnsworth.
And I'm CJ Ward. We begin tonight with concerns about the winds and the fire danger. Santa Barbara County is adding staff and equipment and expecting stronger winds across the south coast tonight. News Channel 3 reporter Tracy Lair is live at Santa Barbara Airport. And Tracy, some of that extra equipment is ready to go if it's needed.
That's right. Usually there are 3 choppers in Santa Ynez. Tonight, the one behind me is here at the Santa Barbara Airport. Actually, for the last 3 days, it's been spending its afternoons and early evenings here just in case a wildfire breaks out. The Sheriff's Department and the fire departments all are getting extra prepared. They're increasing staff, and if anyone reports seeing smoke, this chopper will lift off and get to a reservoir and take on water. It can hold 350 gallons.
It's great because this cuts our response time down greatly from Santa Ynez. So if something happens, hopefully we can get on it before it gets out of hand. So it's great for us to take care of it early if we can.
And the pilot said they don't hold on to the water like doesn't have water in it right now because it could leak out. They will just go to a reservoir and get to that wildfire and hopefully snuff it out before it gets out of control. The fire danger is increased to extreme because of the red flag warning. They're paying attention to what they call sundowner winds, the winds that come through the canyons and head to the ocean. They pick up speed as they go, and they say already the winds have picked up tonight, and they want to be prepared, and they want you to be prepared as well. Reporting live from the Santa Barbara Airport, Tracy Lair, News Channel 3.
All right, thank you, Tracy. The increase in fire danger has one college training students and staff in case of an emergency. Westmont College is located right in the middle of a high fire zone, as we know. News Channel 3 senior reporter John Palmentary is live. And John, the campus dealt with a major fire not so long ago.
You might recall back in 2008, the T fire erupted right behind the Westmont College campus in the Montecito foothills and came roaring down towards those campus buildings. The campus also faced a fire back in 1964 during the Coyote fire. Well, now it has a full-scale emergency response plan, and they use every available piece of technology to get messages out.
On campus, we all go to the gym. That's the first place we go if there's going to be a fire.
Westmont College student Casey Mexico knows just what to do if the campus faces a fire, like it did on November 13, 2008. The T fire roared out of the hills with winds at over 70 miles an hour, scorching some of the campus and then burning over 200 structures from Montecito to Santa Barbara. No one was hurt at Westmont. The students and staff safely sheltered in the gym.
And we've been telling students now for nearly a decade, if there's a wildfire, go to the gym. That's our mantra. If there's a wildfire, go to the gym.
Troy Harris worked with the Montecito Fire Protection District, which has a station nearby, to develop the campus emergency response plan.
When we had that experience in November of 2008, it was really an amazing, remarkable thing to watch. Within 25 minutes, that place was a beehive, and all that effort came together, and it worked like it was supposed to. It's like boom, 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 things happened like they should.
Campus messages also go out in an instant.
Everyone's cautious about it, and it's something. And we get text messages from the school telling us if there's even if there's a chance of a fire. So
Westmont is not far from this small intersection off of Cold Springs Road, and the campus works very closely with the Montecito Fire Protection District to decide in an emergency whether they should shelter in place or evacuate the campus safely.
We don't know which way it's going to go, so we're going to depend on the fire officials to advise, is this a situation where we have time to safely depart the campus in an organized fashion?
Westmont does have a fire emergency vehicle to handle small spot fires until the fire department arrives. It's backed up by a large water tender that's also parked on the campus. What it has more than any piece of equipment, however, is a fire readiness plan, and everyone on the campus has agreed to it to get through an emergency safely. Westmont students have also been told that if they're off campus to try and get in touch with an on-campus official, someone maybe near their residence halls, so they can be accounted for in an emergency. In Santa Barbara, John Palmentary, News Channel 3.
More evacuations are underway here in the West as thousands of firefighters battle several raging wildfires. Dozens of homes have burned already, and fire crews are not only dealing with rough terrain, but also extreme heat. Brandy Hitt reports.
Massive flames have taken over the Northern California town of Weed.
This is central Weed right now.
A wall of fire and thick smoke moving so quickly. At least 100 homes and a church have been destroyed in just a matter of hours.
Last night when I went to sleep, I was praying that it was a dream.
I opened up the door and I seen all kind of smoke.
Leaving 1,500 residents in this small town barely enough time to escape when the fire sparked Monday.
We packed all of our pictures and any thing that we could never get back.
It's just one of at least 18 wildfires raging across the Northwest, including this one near Portland, scorching more than 3,600 acres and forcing even more evacuations.
I've done everything I can possibly do, and so what's going to happen is going to happen.
But no area is being hit harder than drought-stricken California. We're in the midst of triple-digit heat. Nearly 6,000 firefighters are now battling 12 fires across the state, destroying everything in their path and threatening more homes near Sacramento and Yosemite.
I screamed, "Jesus, help me," because it was pretty scary, and it's like facing hell on earth.
And it is a scorcher here in Southern California again today, with record temperatures expected to top 108 degrees. Fire warnings remain in effect through this evening. Brandy Hitt, ABC News, Los Angeles. We'll turn things over to Sean Quinn. He's in tonight for Alan Rose to find out how warm it's expected to get tonight and about those winds.
Yeah, of course. We had one record almost today. Camarillo, you tied it at 91 degrees. Many areas, though, flirting very close to that. And, of course, we'll turn our attention now to the wind advisory, which will last through about midnight tonight. And as well, because of those offshore blowing winds, in other words, from the mountains towards the oceans, as they sink in the atmosphere, they really dry things out and, of course, can also start to heat things up. Wouldn't be a bit surprised if some of our overnight lows along this little zone right here have a hard time getting out of the 70s, but fortunately, it looks like tonight will be the last night. We're going to try to wipe that out and get a little more ocean influence over the next couple of days. And again, look how warm it is on this stretch of coastline right here. It's still pretty nice out as you head farther north up along the areas, along the Central Coast beaches. It's still very hot inland. That's very normal. But then, boy, it's just cooking right there, all because of that offshore wind right now. The gusts are up over 20 miles an hour in certain areas, especially along that 101 corridor right around Gaviota, which is very typical whenever you have a northerly flow like that. And again, we'll keep monitoring that through the night. Hopefully no fires out there across the area, which could explode in growth very quickly. And I'll be back in just a few moments. We'll talk about some cooler weather, which is on the way. Guys?
Okay, thank you, Sean. The largest solar project in UCSB history is almost done tonight. As News Channel 3 reporter Elise Martinez found out, the project is entirely funded by students.
1,800 panels, all to be installed on top of this parking structure near UCSB's Thunderdome. And crews are almost done. It's the largest of its kind on campus. $2.6 million worth of power generation from the sun.
It's the first time actually in the country that students got together, put a fee referendum on their ballot, and decided to fund renewable energy at scale.
Two former gauchos proposed the vote in 2010, and students approved. Now every student enrolled at UCSB pays an extra $6 per quarter. Most don't even know what they're buying.
Students who voted the fee in are no longer on campus. They've graduated. So the students who will be paying for the project over the next 10 years don't necessarily all know that they own this.
They also don't know about the return on their money for decades to come.
Students are getting back renewable energy for the next several decades, 30, 40 years, how long we hope this system to be around, and are able to take the money that would have otherwise been spent on grid-purchased electricity and put it towards student programs.
The power harnessed by the sun is expected to be enough, so the Student Resource Building will put power back into the grid rather than take from it. At UC Santa Barbara, I'm Elise Martinez.
The project should be completed by November and start generating power just a month later.
A high-profile quadruple murder defendant appeared before a judge today in a case that shocked our community. Nicholas Holzer looked up briefly at the courtroom audience, handcuffed and in an orange jail jumpsuit. The 45-year-old faces 4 counts of murder for the stabbing deaths of his 2 young sons and his parents. The family dog was also killed. The murders took place just over a month ago inside the family's home near Goleta. During today's hearing, Judge Thomas Adams assigned the case to a permanent courtroom with Judge Brian Hill. Holzer's defense attorney entered a not guilty plea on behalf of her client, but said there is a possibility of changing that plea down the road.
When you enter an insanity plea, it's something that both the attorney and the client need to jointly do, where I can enter a not guilty plea on his behalf. So today I entered the not guilty plea on his behalf, and then we'll address whether or not we're going to enter a not guilty by reason of insanity plea down the line.
At this point, the latest date the case would be brought to trial would be January 10th. Holzer is expected back in court November 4th.
We are getting our first look at surveillance photos from a robbery at a Bank of the West in Santa Barbara. Police say this is the guy they're looking for. He's accused of robbing the branch on Upper State Street Monday afternoon. He's in his 30s, wore a gray shirt and a Titleist golf hat. If you recognize this man, please call Santa Barbara Police at the number on your screen. That number is 805-897-2346.
3 PG&E employees are out of a job tonight linked to the deadly San Bruno pipeline explosion. Well, details on this coming up next.
And San Francisco is getting ready to shame for shaking. Could it save lives? We'll have that story coming up on News Channel 3.
We finally found our house, and we really love it. But when we moved in, everything dripped and dripped and dripped. I asked the neighbor for a referral, and he said, call Mr. Rooter Plumbing. So I did. Oh, they were courteous, professional, nice, and neat. Did a great job. I can see why people refer Mr. Rooter. Now it's my turn. Call Mr. Rooter.
Proudly serving the Ventura and Santa Barbara areas.
There's nothing like the 2014 Nissan Sentra. It's sure to keep you and your friends moving and connected. Yeah, life at the top is pretty good. Sign and drive the 2014 Nissan Sentra today, or get 0% APR financing. It's a great choice. Nissan, innovation that excites. Shop at choosenissan.com.
This is a tree tip from Branch Out Tree Care, helping keep your trees happy and healthy.
Hi, I'm Chris from Branch Out Tree Care. At Branch Out Tree Care, we guarantee our work in writing. And if we don't do what we say, you don't pay. At Branch Out Tree Care, you can't go wrong. Our work is guaranteed. Give us a call now.
Hi, I'm Davina. As a family-owned business, we offer top quality services including tree trimming, tree removal, stump grinding, fire hazard reduction, and plant health care.
Working with our ISA certified arborist, we develop a plan specific to your trees using the latest in tree care technology and industry standards.
Branch Out Tree Care, our family is growing. Number 6 is due in October. Be the first one to email us the baby's correct due date, and you will receive a $500 service free.
Call us now for our free comprehensive tree care evaluation. Call 969-7588.
Voted one of the top plastic surgeons in the nation, Dr. Schooler will help you attain the look you desire with natural-looking results. Dr. Schooler brings expertise in cosmetic and reconstructive breast surgery, body contouring, and facial rejuvenation in a relaxed, nurturing environment. Discover how Santa Barbara Plastic Surgery Center can help you reach your goals and attain the look you desire. Schedule your complimentary consultation with Dr. Schooler today. To learn more about Dr. Schooler and the Santa Barbara Plastic Surgery Center, visit Health Connections on KEYT.com.
Pacific Gas and Electric Company says 3 senior officials have lost their jobs over improper communications with state regulators. A PG&E internal investigation began after a separate state probe of a deadly 2010 pipeline blast in San Bruno. Back in July, emails made public at the request of the city showed PG&E officials discussing with top state utility commission officials and staffers how much the state should fine the company in that blast.
San Francisco city officials are trying to shame building owners into making their property safer. Large signs will be slapped on hundreds of apartment buildings to prod the owners into complying with an earthquake safety ordinance that was passed last year. The city's director of earthquake safety says he wanted something that would get everybody's attention.
For the first time ever, California's Department of Motor Vehicles knows how many self-driving cars are traveling public roads. The agency issued permits today to let 3 companies test 29 cars on highways and in neighborhoods with a human safety driver behind the wheel in case the onboard computers make a bad decision. With 25 vehicles, Google's souped-up Lexus SUVs are the largest fleet. Self-driving cars have already gone hundreds of thousands of miles in California because there was no law saying otherwise.
Could add a whole new meaning to computer glitch, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. All right, we do have some warnings out there for the red flag conditions over the next about 6 hours or so. And of course, we'll have details on that and as well as your hump day forecast. Stay tuned.
From out of the ashes, a new team rises because the world can't save itself.
I'm going to finish what I started.
Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season premiere next Tuesday at a new time, 9/8 Central on ABC.
Real people, steel people. They want power, dependability, and lasting value. Right now, get a Woodsman carrying case and extra steel chain for just $10 when you buy the MS-271 chainsaw. Plus, get a free can of Steel Motomix with purchase of select Steel handheld blowers. See dealer for details. Steel, America's #1 selling brand. Visit SteelDealers.com.
Some things are not what they appear to be. Other things are exactly what they appear to be. The Lexus IS, as aggressive as it looks. Lease the 2015 IS 250 for $349 a month for 27 months. See your Lexus dealer.
I don't think Gorell understands women in Ventura County. Jeff Gorell.
Gorell didn't support women in the state assembly.
He refused to support equal pay for equal work.
Gorell voted to make it harder for women to get access to birth control.
And Gorell got a 0 rating from Planned Parenthood 2 years in a row.
And Jeff Gorell would let insurance companies charge women more than men for the same coverage.
This isn't just about my health care, it's about my life.
Gorell just isn't there for us.
I'm Julia Brownlee, and I approve this message.
When the Santa Barbara County Deputy Sheriffs heard about Measure P, we looked into the facts, and the facts are troubling. Measure P would result in the shutdown of existing oil and gas production in Santa Barbara County. It would cost the county tens of millions of dollars each year, eliminating vitally needed funds for public safety services. That's why the Santa Barbara County Deputy Sheriffs and firefighters are united in asking you to join us in voting no on Measure P. Thank you.
At Lena's Feed and Pet Supply, we've been carrying bags of pet food to your car for 40 years. Some might say it's old-fashioned. It's become an uncommon courtesy. But I say, it's just a small part of treating you right. If that's old-fashioned, I'm okay with it. At Lena's, we're family.
And welcome back. Let's go ahead and look at some of those temperatures we saw today. We've been talking a lot about the heat the last couple of days. Really no records despite the fact that you were 108 in Ojai. This time of year you can get pretty hot. But Camarillo, you did tie your record, which was set back in 1958. So a little good work there. Other areas still very warm. But Morro Bay, last few days, that little stubborn sea breeze has kind of hung right on the beaches, not allowing Morro Bay to get much out of the 60s, again, for the last several days. So some nice relief there. We are monitoring our latest watches and advisories. That's the wind advisory. You'll notice it's a really narrow band of the Santa Barbara South Coast all the way down to Rincon from about Point Conception. And again, because of that, you get a lot of things happening in the atmosphere, and that's why we have the red flag conditions, which should expire about midnight tonight, although obviously the fire conditions won't demonstrably change, but at least we should get a little more ocean influence, lose that offshore effect, which right now is the telltale sign. You can see that big difference in temperature from Lompoc to Gaviota. What happens is the air, as it pushes over the mountains with a moderate breeze right now, not too strong, although some gusts are going over 20 miles an hour. What happens is it gets dried out and warmed up dramatically as you go in elevation. You drop from the mountains to the sea, and what happens is the air gets compressed, it gets basically heated up and dried out. If a fire were to break out in that region, you'd have some explosive growth. Now, speaking of growing things, look at the atmosphere. It's really waking up across the desert southwest. This is a lot of Odile moisture. It's not really affecting us. Go ahead and step out of the way. The thing that will affect us is out in the Pacific Ocean. An area of low pressure is expected to approach the coast the next couple of days. The Odile factor is pretty much out of the deal. It's going to stay to our south and east, it looks like right now, but we will expect that area of low pressure just off the coast to bring us some cooling weather and even a chance of maybe some light drizzle as we head toward Thursday and Friday. There's Odile again, really pushing fast now up into northern Mexico, and as well, the track does show still going to hold on as a tropical storm, but for the most part, again, Odile is really just going to be a rainmaker for the desert southwest, not really for Southern California. Just a little bit of the eastern edges of that will start to work its way in as far as the forecast. And speaking of that, your overnight lows tonight going to be a little warm along the Santa Barbara south coast, all because of that northerly wind over the mountains. If we can get that wind to sort of back off, maybe we'll get a little better sleeping weather across the area, but cannot promise you anything on that. 50s otherwise, turning into 70s along the beaches, your inland areas into the 80s and 90s, and still some triple digits out there. Southern hemisphere swell is working its way up out of 200 degrees on the so that means basically most of our beaches will see it, minus Santa Barbara. And your forecast, real quick, you can see, we'll cool things off, put the AM clouds back into the routine through the middle of the week, heading toward the weekend. However, high pressure is expected to come back again, and we'll stop on Santa Barbara. So we'll lose the heat temporarily, and then it looks like it comes back again, perhaps as early as maybe midway through the weekend into next week. So
2 heat waves back to back.
Again.
All righty.
Yeah.
Thanks, Sean.
Thank you, Sean. It's being called the most important new water legislation in California in more than 50 years. Governor Brown signed a package of bills today aimed at regulating the state's dwindling groundwater supplies as this drought only gets worse. Keith Carls reports.
Very little. Hopefully there's nothing left out there.
Santa Barbara County wine grape grower Kevin Merrill talks about this year's harvest.
I think our yields are down a little bit, but it's going to be a great vintage. And we don't use that much water. You know, we use less than an acre-foot of water.
Merrill relies on water from the San Antonio groundwater basin. That covers most of the Los Alamos area. It's one of several basins in the county, shown here in red, in serious trouble due to the drought. The package of bills signed by Governor Brown target areas where groundwater basins are being depleted faster than they're being replenished. It gives local land planners 2 years to create a groundwater sustainability agency, which then has up to 5 years to develop a plan for managing wells and pumping. The State Water Resources Control Board can step in and develop plans for communities that fail to comply with the new rules.
Today we do set in law a framework that has been resisted for a long, long time.
One of our huge concerns is the overreaching of the bills is, what does it mean for private property owners? What does it mean for those agencies to be able to come in and shut your wells down at some time? It's very scary to not know what's out there.
That's
just because of perception.
Okay. Kevin Merrill says there needs to be a broader, more comprehensive approach to solving long-term water needs for everyone, not just agriculture.
As our population grows and our weather patterns change, we need to all work together to come up with a solution and not put farmers out of business.
Keith Carls, News Channel 3.
A car show is revving up for a great cause. We'll have details just ahead. And Santa Barbara ranks as one of the best places to live in the country. Find out what other local cities made the list.
And then later on in sports, Carpinteria football will get some of their key players back from injury for this Friday night's game. We'll hear from the Warriors coming up on News Channel 3.
Hey, Jen, up here, it's me.
A talking sticker?
Well, I'm really more of a static cling, but anyway, listen, it's time to get your oil changed. Let's go to Big Brand Tire and Service.
A tire store for an oil change?
Well, actually, they do a lot more than sell tires. Oil changes, brakes, scheduled maintenance, and more. And they email you service reminders, which is way less freaky than a talking sticker, right?
You mean static cling?
Yeah, Jen, static cling.
Your one-stop shop for all things auto. Big savings, big service. Big Brand Tire.
Emergencies can't tell time. When your pet is critically ill or injured, you need a specialist immediately.
Advanced Veterinary Specialist, located at 414 East Carrillo, is dedicated to the health and well-being of your pet. Emergency pet care and specialty services are available around the clock. Our team of board-certified specialists work together to get your pet home healthier and happier again. Experience the difference. Your pet will thank you. Advanced Veterinary Specialist, Santa Barbara County's most technologically advanced critical care veterinary hospital. 414 East Carrillo, downtown Santa Barbara.
It's here. Change. A change in what we create, how we invent, changing the way you move, the way you feel, and now, the way you see. LED headlight technology and other BMW i8 innovations available in the BMW 5 Series. We only make one thing, the ultimate driving machine. Visit your local BMW center to experience a tech drive today and receive an innovations credit of up to $2,000.
Celebrate Santa Barbara's 15th annual Creek Week, Saturday, September 20th through Sunday, September 28th. Explore your watersheds through guided nature walks. Check out innovative projects and programs designed to improve water quality and wildlife habitat. Join a cleanup of your neighborhood creek or favorite beach. All that and much more. For a full schedule of events, visit sbcreekweek.com.
The all-new TLX from Acura. Visit Acura of Santa Barbara for attractive offers on the TLX.
News Channel 3 brought to you by Branch Out Tree Care.
Classic cars will line Coast Village Road this Sunday to help local kids and the police department. Some of those cars are already out of storage and are cruising around town this week, getting set for the Montecito Motor Classic. They include classic Camaros, Mustangs, several Rolls Royces, and a Studebaker that was in the 1932 Indianapolis 500.
And a lot of these cars are so rare that you just won't see them in any car show. And this is Santa Barbara has a wealth of car personalities, vehicles.
We bring kids and the benefactors together in one place, and then all of a sudden kids get matched up, and someday down the road they could be a mentor or something else. So it's awesome.
And money raised from the event will benefit the Police Activities League for Kids and the Santa Barbara Police Foundation. The event is free Sunday from 8 in the morning until 3 in the afternoon.
Beautiful cars. Santa Barbara received a new national ranking as one of the best places to live. The website livability.com released its 2015 list Monday for the U.S. Santa Barbara ranked number 16 out of 100 places. Ventura came in at 23, Goleta number 70. Madison, Wisconsin came in at number 1. The ranking is based on population size, median household income, and home prices. For a complete list of all the rankings, visit our website at KEYT.com.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.